Chapter 5, the right exchange. This is of course a very important theme in the whole royal game of chess. And there are many golden guidelines, so I have made several clips to illustrate them. And I want to start with, I think, what is one of the best, or one very good endgame guideline. The defender exchanges pawns. Pawns are very valuable winning potential in the endgame, because in the pawnless case, the attacker needs a very large material superiority to win. Often a rook. Okay, there are exceptions like 2 bishops against a knight. They usually win, but otherwise rook and bishop against rook is usually theoretically a draw. Rook and knight against rook is a draw. So without pawns, a large superiority is needed, so here black's pawns are very valuable winning potential. Rapport Lasnica, Adaban, 2011, what to do with white. And Richard Rapport found a very instructive way to draw, I think, which also emphasizes that in rook endings activity is what counts. H5, okay, this is not really a pawn exchange, it's a sacrifice. And it is even a double sacrifice. But now white is extremely active and will win back 1 pawn by force, so in a way it was 1 pawn exchange and 1 sacrifice. And here it's a draw. As the winning potential will be reduced by 1 pawn and white is extremely active. And black not. Black isn't. After h4 white can take. And now, the remaining pawns are rook's pawns, and it's a relatively easy draw, but white must play, or should, not must, but white should play rook b3. And then bring the rook behind the pawn, bring the king back, win the h-pawn first, and draw the game later. Rook h6, by the way, this is a bit beautiful. This is still playable, but king e4 would lose, as you want to exchange pawns. But of course, you don't want to exchange rooks. White's rook really is in a tragicomical position and black wins. Okay, but that's just... Okay, so here 1 pawn is exchanged and the 2 remaining rook's pawns are not enough winning potential. This is the reason why the guideline is so good, that the defender exchanges pawns. So Lasnica protected his pawn, but now he loses a forward rook's pawn. And white's rook has enough checking distance. Of course, going to the pawn endgame would lose. Be careful before you simplify the pawn endgame is also a very good guideline. This simplification to pawning must be calculated so that you are 100% sure before you go into it. Or that you are at least sure that it's the best option. But here it's clear that it's a losing option. But here another guideline comes, the checking distance 3 squares is sufficient, and it's valid here, and white's activity is enough to draw, and after some further moves the game was drawn. So I think this is a very good endgame guideline. The defender exchanges pawns to reduce the winning potential. This, indeed, is very good. The other guideline, that the side which is material ahead exchanges pieces, is very bad, in my opinion. I will deal with it in this chapter and, for example, in the next clip. But the defender exchanges pawns is a very good guideline.